Even when things look like they are not going your way, or they look like they're opposite, going in the opposite direction, or you feel like nothing's changing at all, trust me, everything is changing. Everything is moving. I want to share with you this beautiful source story from one of my clients who sent this to me and gave me permission to share it with you about literally what it is to be still and know that I am God. What I keep talking a lot about on my shorts and my videos for weeks now. Because the importance of this, I can't even underscore it enough. No matter where you are on learning about manifesting or studying the law or knowing who you are, if you don't know how to be still, then you're going to struggle with all of this, because in the stillness you will find all the answers and all the clarity, because that is where all of your power lies. Welcome, my name is Rose. Welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. So if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, you know what to do. You can go to RoseyLife.com. All the information's down in the description box below. And if you're interested in the 3DME course, oh my God, I keep getting so many emails about all the insights, all the aha moments, and all the lights that are going off inside of you. And I love it so much. So keep those stories coming. I love reading them so much. And I'm going to be sharing more of the reviews that people are sending me from that 3DME course in the community post. And I'll probably start posting them on my website, or so that people can see it when you go to purchase a course. So also, just as a reminder, the 6-month platinum program is open for signups. Some of you have already signed up and put your deposit down. We don't begin until July 15th, but I opened it to give you guys more than enough time to begin thinking about if that's good for you. One of the things that I keep telling people that are asking me questions about the 6-month program, it is weekly, and we focus on knowing your God, because without that foundation, you're going to feel like you're struggling. In fact, I had a conversation with another client just a few minutes ago and about this, and I said, there are no steps to manifesting, and if anybody tells you there aren't any. They're making it up. Those are their beliefs. Okay, because we're unlimited. There's no conditions. You don't have to feel good. You don't have to do anything, because if that were true, then you wouldn't be unlimited. You wouldn't be complete. There are no steps. But if I were going to make up steps, based out of all the thousands of clients that I've worked with already, I would say that knowing who you are, knowing that you're God, practice not reacting to your own feelings, your own thoughts, and to circumstances. Being still is not reacting to everything. Being still is choosing to not react to anything. And it is easy, but it's hard if you say it's hard, but it is easy. So that's really what we do in the 6-month program and more, is we practice being still and knowing we're God. And that is exactly what I point you to. And you don't have to have a coach. You don't need it, right? But this is for those who want to level up with others, to level up in a private community with others, and they're just sick and tired of all of this other stuff. So if you're ready and that is what you want, and you want to focus on knowing who you are, that's what we do in the program. And it is powerful. Okay, so all the information's down below if you're interested. Okay, so first I'm going to start reading the email that he sent me, and then we're going to talk about this some more. Okay, so this email, it says, Rose, thank you so much for our conversation today. So we had a session 3 days ago. No, 4 days ago. We had a session like 4 days ago, okay? And he has booked several times with me already, and this was the last session that we had. Thank you so much for our conversation today. I mean, words cannot describe how much peace I felt during and after our talk. I now understand why it is ever so important to put myself first and know that I am God prior to any manifestation that I want. Do you see the order in which he's talking? He's like, your manifestations are not at the top of the list. Knowing that your God is at the top of the list. And that is what I strongly suggest to all of you, is making that your priority. And a client today said, knowing feels like work. And he said, but the word accepting that I'm God feels like it rings true to me. It feels like I don't need to understand anything. I just accept it. I don't have to figure it out. I just accept it. Do you see? Because you don't need to figure this out. There's no processes. You accept it, right? So accepting that you're God is key, you guys. It's key. So it says it has given me a sense of relief as well, because with knowing this means that I don't have to do anything. It truly is letting go and surrendering to the almighty power. Whoo, yeah. Well, after our call, as I told you, I was hungry, so I decided to go to this cafe that serves a salmon salad. Now, this whole time getting ready to go and walking there, I am practicing the truth of knowing who I am. As I was walking, I would contemplate how I am God in my reality, and I honestly felt very good. I kept my phone in my bag so I could focus on me, capital me, he said. I couldn't make up what happens next. I got to preface this before I continue with his email, though. In our session 4 days ago, he wrote this email that same day, right? In our session, he told me that his SP broke up with him and said, I'm not ready for relationships. And there were some issues that happened between them in a year that he said he just couldn't get over. And he said, I just need to focus on myself. I don't want to be in a relationship. I really need to, spend this time with myself. And my client, obviously, he reacted. He was upset. He was hurt. He was upset. But when he said he knew within that he knew that reacting to him in a negative way, like chasing him or trying to get him to stay, was going to work against him. So he accepted what was said to him. And within, he said, this isn't my choice. This isn't what I choose. So he said, well, if you got to do what you got to do. And he let him go. And then he booked a session with me. He was just like, I know I'm reacting. And he's like, I know it. He says, but that's not what I choose. So this is where we had our session, and that's what he's talking about. He said, so then he says, I know I need to focus on me. I said, because if you're not focusing on you, your SP is not focusing on you. If you're focusing on your SP is focusing on your SP. It's not focused on you. Do you get that? It's just like you always want to focus on you. You always want to be the star of your movie. And not just like, I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. Like, you already know that. I'm already all those things. Instead, what does he say very clearly? To know that I'm God. That's what he is doing. That's what he was doing on his walk, to go get a bite to eat. And he said, the original plan was to go to a different restaurant that serves a delicious salmon salad, but something inside me nudged me and reminded me how my SP mentioned that there was another really good restaurant at a different cafe, or another good salad at a different cafe. Since I already knew what the first one was like, I said, well, if I like the vibe, I'll stay there at the other place. If not, I'll go to the original restaurant that I had in mind. No harm lost. So he got a little nudge to go to this other restaurant and check out the salad that his SP had recommended to him. So the meal was great, and after, I didn't really know what I wanted to do next. And we even talked about that. Stop trying to figure out what you're going to do all the time. It's like people in a hurry in a race. What do I got to do now? What do I do now? What do I think now? What do I do? Do you see? So he says, well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do next, so I just stood outside the restaurant sipping my tea, and then the thought, in other words, he practiced being still. For those of you who are asking, what is being still? What does that mean? He was sipping his tea. That's being still. And then he said, and then the thought to buy some sunscreen came to me. I initially thought to walk downtown to Target, but it was nice. out. But then I realized I didn't want to do that, and I could walk to the Whole Foods, which was much closer. So I embarked on my quick journey. Not even 3 blocks into my walk, as I'm about to cross the street, and there goes my SP on his bike, crossing me at the same time, right in front of me. I started to laugh, and so did he. Because 1, he just broke up with me, and 2, I knew I brought him back like that. I knew I'm the one that did that. So he was giggling because they saw each other, and he's giggling because he knew that he did that. He stopped his bike, and we began to chat. The whole time we are talking, I stayed focused on who I was. I am God. Even him talking to his SP, he said he went within and he focused, I am God. And I do not have to do anything. He wasn't like trying. Okay? So his SP asked me, what was I doing later? And I said, nothing, with zero shame. Because we talked about that during our session, that there's so much emphasis on, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this summer? What are you going to do for the holiday? What are you going to do tonight? What are you going to... And that it almost felt like he had this pressure of constantly needing to share that he had plans to appear cool, to appear busy, to appear wanted, like everybody wants to hang out with me. And I said, let go of all that. I said, you don't got to do nothing, and you got to prove nothing to anyone. You don't have to prove that you have places to go, people to see. You don't need a laundry list of things that you got to do. I said, be proud of saying nothing. Nothing doesn't mean that you're boring or that you suck or that you don't have a life. Nothing just means nothing. It doesn't mean bad things or good things. You don't have to try to occupy yourself. You don't have to be busy. Oh my God, you guys, I remember years ago when I first got into law of attraction, I heard these coaches say, just busy yourself, distract yourself with washing your clothes or reorganizing your house, or do things to busy yourself, to distract yourself so you're not thinking about that thing. That just made me want to think about it even more. Do you see? So I said, let go of the idea that you got to do stuff and distract yourself. Being still is not distracting yourself. Being still is knowing you're God, and you don't got to do nothing. You don't even have to think if you don't want to. You can just stare at the wall. And that's even doing something. But you got to do that. So that's why he said, I said I'm doing nothing, with zero shame. I knew I didn't have to make anything up to appear cool or busy. I knew that I was enough. Hello? Do you guys see how wonderful that is? Because that was my truth, and I was content with it. Wow. I know that I'm enough. I know that I don't have to tell you all these wonderful things that I'm doing to appear that I'm enough. I'm enough. Period. We continued to talk and exchange a few laughs, and even acknowledge how crazy it was that we both crossed each other at the exact same time. He told me he would hit me up later to see what I was doing and if I'd be down to hang out at one of the local bars. I said, sure, just let me know. And I left it at that. We hugged, and I continued on my journey to buy his sunscreen. What happened next was the choice of knowing who I am. I felt an immediate rush of excitement and anxiety that just happened to come over me. And I used your method. Oh, he's talking about he purchased 3D and Me, and he actually is another person that sent me a review. So in that recording, the 3D and Me, I give a method in there to use when you're reacting. And so he said, I used your method to bring myself back and persist in choosing who I am and what I desire. Brilliant. I knew it was me and my higher self who placed him there. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. They're a team. Do you see? You're not alone. You're not doing anything alone. You're on a team. It's you and your higher self. So I knew it was me and my higher self who placed him there to have that exchange, but I chose to not react with anxiety after. I said, I am still God, and no matter what happens next, I do not have to lift a finger. I don't have to text him to follow up. I don't have to wait for a phone call. I am good now. It was very empowering because in the past, I would want to figure it out. What would happen next and not allow the unfolding to proceed. So that's what I'm doing now in this very moment. Nothing. That's what I'm doing. Nothing. What did he do? Nothing. What should you do? Nothing. What do I do when I'm still? Nothing. I know that what I choose for myself is mine, and all I need to do is know that I'm God, and I can enjoy the ride. Thank you, Rose. Oh, I love that so much. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Even though it seems impossible, the day before he got broken up with, and he was heartbroken. And then the very next day, he just decided to stop trying, stop efforting. And what happened? His SP ran right in front of him. The nudge to go from one store to another store to buy sunscreen, he just flowed with it. He didn't quite, is this inspired action? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this where he didn't analyze the nudge. He just said, okay, I'm going to go with it because that's closer. I don't want to walk that far. He just went with the nudge. In other words, he went with what felt good in that moment. This feels right. This feels like what I want to do next. I want to go to this store, not that store. I want to go walk closer, not farther. That was it. He didn't analyze it and question it. He just went with it. And with his nudge, do you see, Source always knows where you are, where you're walking. It has a tracker on you, GPS trackers on you, okay? It always knows where you are, always knows the best, most perfect possible ways to have you and your desire meet up together. And that's exactly what happens. So you don't have to worry if you're in the right place. You are in the right place. You're exactly where you're supposed to be all the time. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment. And this moment is the only moment. There is no other moment. This is the holy moment, the eternal moment from where all creation is. There is no billion years ago. There is no billion years from now. It's just this moment, and it's always going to be this moment. So all things exist in this moment. Everything you want is happening in this moment. So that's why you want to remind yourself, wait a minute, I like me in this moment. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing everything right. I can't screw this up because Source is on me. Source is in me. It knows where I'm at. It knows what I like. It knows where I'm going. It's guiding me. It's showing me. It's leading me to my desires. Just like this client. He was led to his desires. He was led to run right into him. And then the SP was led to ride his bike down the exact street at that exact same time. Do you see how beautiful that is? It's perfect. It's the same thing with money. I know a lot of you are like, this is an SP story, but it's the same thing with money, with health, with career, with whatever it is that you want. You're at the right place. Your bank account looks exactly how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like this right now because that's part of how you get to what you want. Your bank account looks exactly how it's supposed to be, but instead you judge it, you look at it, I hate it, I don't want this, I want more, I want it to be different. How much longer do I have to wait for this to change? Where is it? But I've tried, but I've done all this stuff, but I've done everything you said, Rose, but I've done this, but I've done this. That's where you dwell. You dwell in that I've tried and it's not working. You got to be honest with yourself. You guys got to be honest with yourself. It seeming impossible doesn't mean that it is impossible. Just because it seems impossible, it feels impossible, and you can admit that. You can say, this feels impossible. This seems impossible. But just because it feels impossible and it seems impossible and it looks impossible doesn't make it a fact that it is impossible, because I know with God all things are possible. I want to leave you with a scripture, and I didn't write it down, the verse, but when things seem impossible, when things seem like they're out of reach, or they feel impossible, or they look impossible, like I said, okay? Just because they feel or look or hear like they sound impossible, remember, those are senses related. Your five senses are the 3D. They're not who you are. Your five senses are in the 3D. And you're in it, but you're not of it. So that scripture of greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. That first he is capitalized, H. Greater is he that is in me than he, little h, that is in the world. Well, that little h are your five senses. That little h is you, your physical body, your bank account, your thoughts, your feelings, all your beliefs. That's the little he. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. That little he in the world is your thoughts, feelings, your beliefs, your bank account, your SP, all your stories, all of it. That little he is in the world, but greater is he that is in me than the little he that is in the world. So who you really are is that greatness, that great he, the I am, God, source, infinite intelligence. That's who you really are. So when you identify with that infinite source, that little he, you get it. Oh, but it doesn't matter if it feels or looks or sounds impossible. That's the little he in the world saying that. But greater is he that is in me. He's in me. He's greater than these little thoughts of it's impossible. It looks impossible. Do you see? Who are you identifying as? Are you identifying as that little he that uses his intelligence and his five senses to measure what's real or what's possible or not? Or are you identifying as that greatness, as that greater he that is in me? Because I'm going to tell you, like I said at the beginning of the video, if I were going to create steps, and there are no steps, I would say you want to focus on who you really are, that greatness within you, by accepting it. There are no methods or meditations to do this. You can find them if you want to, but there are no rules on how to do this, because I know you guys are going to ask, how do I accept that I am God? How do I accept my greatness? You accept it. You acknowledge it. You choose it. It's not like you're trying to do it. Neville Goddard, I forgot what lecture he said, God himself, he put himself into me, into you. God himself put himself, interjected himself into you, into man. And he put himself to fall asleep and forget who he is. Because God did that, because God put himself into us, it takes away the responsibility of you, this little you, to remember who you are. God himself will wake himself up within you as you. You think you're doing the remembering and the trying to be God and trying to know that you're powerful. You're not doing it. You're along for the ride. God himself injected him or interjected, whatever that word is, like God himself placed himself into you, into us, into man. So God himself will wake himself up in man. We don't have to do it. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop efforting. Be still and know that I'm God. Be still and accept. Acknowledge I'm God. Be still is, oh yeah, I'm not doing it. I don't have to do it. I'm going to be still and accept, know that I am God, having this human experience, having human feelings. It's okay. You don't have to figure it out. There's nothing for you to figure it out because it's all figured out for you. It's not your job to try to analyze, logically figure this out. It's being done for you. And the more that you practice being still, and all that means is you're not reacting. And if you want a little bit more help with that, that's what 3D is for, is to help you not. I just literally spent almost an hour talking about this very topic that so many people have a struggle with. And I've seen so many people have such big movement just from listening to that. Okay, so remember, being still is not reacting to your own thoughts and feelings, not reacting to circumstances. That's all it is. That's constant. That's all it is. All right. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys, and thank you, members. If you're interested in being a member, there's 2 levels of membership. I forgot to mention. And the first level of membership is I do additional video there for the membership channel, and then the level 2 membership is live Q&A, and that's all that happens. If you're level 2, yes, you do get access to level 1. Level 2 is I spontaneously show up to do live Q&As like a lot, not just once a week, not once a month, but I literally come on there quite a bit. If you guys are in there right now, there's a handful of people in the level 2 for the live Q&A. So they're getting VIP treatment. When I come in there, they're getting to ask whatever questions they want. They get me all to themselves, because there's only a handful of people in there right now. But as it grows, I'm going to come on at different times. And I come on at different times, different days of the week. It's not planned, it's spontaneous, so that I am inspired to do it more. If it's planned, I'll probably do it, but it'll be very limited, because it'll feel more like a chore. This way, I'm on there all the time. Okay? All right, you guys. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. That's below. Thank you guys so much for liking the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing the Rosey Life with others so that it continues to grow. I love you guys so, so much, because you're all so freaking amazing. And I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.